Tell us a little bit this fragmentation in Parliament. Some say it will be a lot of instability. Others say, look, it's the return of good legislative debate in the country. What's your take?
Yeah, so I think personally that it's good for Macron to have a Parliament that speaks back to him. He didn't have that in 2017, and so he passed increasingly unpopular reforms until he had the yellow jacket protests. I think here Parliament will do the function of running interference, giving him negative feedback, both from the left and from the right. So I think it's good news for French democracy to have a Parliament that opposes the presidency.
But does that mean instability, though? Will anything be passed, any laws be passed? How is it going to work?
Well, only laws where there'll be some kind of majority consensus will pass. And that seems to involve laws that will bring the Republicans back. The Republicans, the old Gaullist right, were long time the governing party in France. And because of scandals involving Sarkozy and leadership battles, they've been diminished to 75 seats. But because they're the only frequentable partner for the Macronists, they're very likely to become the kingmakers. I wouldn't be surprised to see them maybe get a minister or two, and they'll certainly be involved in hard negotiations to get what they want, which I think is a future on the right. So, yeah, Les Républicains will play well. Meanwhile, the National Front.
Yeah, so we have this kind of paradoxical situation when the left has become stronger, but that might push actually Emmanuel Macron more towards the right if he needs to make an alliance with Les Républicains, potentially.
That's right, because the Mélenchonist left is in strict opposition to almost everything in Macron's agenda. So there's not really a lot of room to cut deals with them. For example, take environmentalism. So one of the partners of NUPES is the Green Party. And since Macron would like to have an environmental program and Elizabeth Borne, the Prime Minister, is an environmentalist, you think, well, maybe they'll find some common ground. But no, the Green Party is a party of the left, and Macron's economic environmental reforms are a bit too liberal for them.
So the NUPES now will be the second largest group in Parliament. They didn't have the result they wanted, they expected, they were hoping that Jean-Luc Mélenchon would be Prime Minister. It's not going to be like that, but they will be the main opposition. However, what kind of opposition will they be? Because was this just an electoral alliance, a bloc to go through? Or can they actually agree on some laws together? Because they have very different views on different things. So the socialists, the Greens, les Insoumis, they don't agree on everything at all.
Right. So all they're going to be able to do is vote against Macron. Unfortunately, all they're going to be able to do is vote against Macron and lose, because the hard left refuses on principle to vote with Marine Le Pen, with the Rassemblement National. If you were to add the two of them up together, they would have a force equal to Macron. But each alone, the extreme right and the extreme left, will be incapable both of proposing laws and of defeating Macron. So Macron, working with Les Républicains, negotiating a kind of consensus of the right, will probably be able to pass through some of the legislation. The big test will be retirement.